What's up, guys? We've got Lolo Jones, the Bananas, the Miz, and the Reunion all in one show. Coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I'm like, this song's like taking me back to my college days and my athletic days. Like, you know, that warm-up song that everybody wants to pump you up. There it is. Welcome to the Challenge versus Pros as we break it down. I'm your host, Paulina Aguilar, and you can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. And please welcome my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. I am Pamela Gross, and you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at Pamela Gross Jill.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to talk about this season. It's so good already. First episode in, and I'm loving it, so I'm excited to chat with you all. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna _Bussiere. So obviously my name is Jenna.
All right, so we've got a nice little treat for you because the MTV has brought a brand new show to us, Champs versus Pros, and I absolutely love it. I am more excited to watch this than I was at the beginning of any season challenge. But before we get to that, we want to talk about a little bit about the reunion, and I know you guys saw it too because we're all fanatics of this show. Let's get to the main things that we see. Let's clarify some rumors that went on. So the first thing that I want to talk about is Jenna. At first, Jenna denied that anything ever happened with Bruno on the plane. And on the reunion, she finally admitted that they kissed. There was nothing more than that, but that they just kissed.
Yeah, it was great because she just sort of was like, yeah, like no sweat finally after all this, after being scared that Zach would find out. And again, in the reunion special, her feeling wasn't that she was afraid to admit it, but she was saying everyone thinks something else happened, but really we just kissed.
Couldn't we just say that from the very beginning?
Yeah, no, I was going to say I was shocked by her admitting that there was a makeout or a kiss. She used the word kiss. I guess she didn't want to take it as far as a makeout because she was denying it to the end. Like life depended on it, deny. And I get that Zach was around and maybe she was trying to prevent him from finding out what happened. But the fact that she just finally said, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we did. It's like, then maybe you should have just said that in the first place and then said all we did was kiss. It didn't escalate further than that. Also, because she owes nothing to Zach. He cheated on her.
Right.
But then she wouldn't have won Best Cry, guys. And she wouldn't have had
I respect Jenna more to hope that she would just forget about Zach and admit to hooking up with a new guy than her winning Best Cry.
Well, speaking of Zach, we also found out that they dated afterwards, after they filmed this segment for a couple of months.
So disappointing,
and
Jenna.
then, some people, a lot of people actually disagreed with her going back to him, and we've touched on this before. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think lose that man. He has said he's terrible to her. I think finally, hopefully, she's getting it. She seemed a little resigned on the reunion to the fact that he really was not the person she wants him to be, or never going to be the boyfriend that she wants him to be. And I hope that really sticks, because I understand when you like someone you're just ride or die and you can't, you know, it seems like she sort of knows he's horrible, but she just loves him. Yeah, unconditionally, but it's like, start putting some conditions there.
Yeah, I was so disappointed by her. I mean, I'm not a Zach fan by any stretch. I think that as a competitor, he's a little overrated. Yeah, he's got a ton of size, but we've seen him lose to Jordan in a slam hedger contest. With no offense to
he's a baby. He's a big baby.
He gasses out on the mountain. He yells at girls. He yelled at Janae during their Battle of the Exes. He blames all of his losses on somebody else. And also, he's so disrespectful, not only towards Jenna, but women in general. We've seen him on camera caught saying, but I think women are inferior. They're made from a rib of us. It's in the Bible. So, Jenna, I get you must have some infatuation and some love for him, but you have to respect yourself first. He cheated on you.
But I think it's a situation where they have to learn on their own. You know, you can tell somebody 1,000 times not to do something, but if they don't figure it out on their own, they're never going to learn. And sometimes it takes more than one time to figure it out, or maybe it hurts a little bit more, and that's just life. Everybody goes through it in some sort of situation.
1000%
So
agree with
it is what it is, and I hope that both of them are doing well on their separate lanes.
Right.
Well, he ghosted her again, so he's probably doing great.
Well, moving on, someone who did merge lanes is Nicole and Laurel. They're still together, but we did find out that there's a little bit of drama between Cara Maria and Laurel. Laurel actually went into Nicole's phone and deleted her number. Have you guys ever done that to a boyfriend?
No.
No,
No,
never.
Actually, no.
Have you ever been tempted?
I've never thought about deleting somebody's number because
But have you
blocking.
snooped? Have you snooped?
Oh, yes. I had a bad relationship in high school. I think that's where I'm getting at Jenna and Zach's relationship. Where I'm saying, girl, just do it. Just walk away. Don't be that person. Don't be that girl in that relationship. So, sure, I've been tempted. Well, I've never thought about blocking. That's a little old school. I feel like blocking and deleting somebody's number.
Yeah, and plus if I
Well,
saw...
old school, you have no cell phones.
Right.
And
If I saw a blocked number... I think it was like some sort of telemarketer or something. But yeah, to block someone in someone else's phone, I think it's a little bit of an invasion of privacy. The way that they set it up in the reunion, though, I understand that Laurel wants Cara Maria not involved in her new, even though it's been 5 months.
Right.
It's newish. They're still a new couple. I don't think it's right, but I get that she's jealous, and I get that she just wants to have her period without Cara Maria's existence and all.
But I think
feel bad
part
for
of your
Cara.
relationship is trust. It's a big portion, I believe. And so I think that she needs to give Nicole that trust to not communicate with Cara in the way that she wants.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. It's not a good sign if it's up to the point where you're so controlling over your significant other that you're blocking numbers from their phone. You have to trust that person.
Some people
Yeah.
like crazy though. I have a friend that loves crazy women,
The
and let me
drama.
tell you, they are psycho, but they love it, and they're still and he dates the same type of woman, and I don't know what it is, but
Right.
some guys just like crazy,
And
or some women like crazy.
yeah, and Nicole and Laurel are good for each other because they're both crazy, but a different kind of crazy. So I guess they kind of mesh in that way. But I think it was interesting because Laurel and Cara Maria were such great friends going into this season that the innocent flirtation between Nicole and Cara is enough for Laurel to completely dead their friendship.
Yeah, well, on that, I feel bad for Cara Maria. I don't think she deserves to be shut out. I think Laurel is using it as an excuse. I don't think Cara Maria really did anything to earn Laurel shutting her out. But to defend Laurel, I do understand this is almost, I would say to some extent, her first love, her first like serious relationship, and people go crazy. Love makes you do crazy things. Hopefully her and Cara Maria will work through it and become
Very
friends again, because I
territorial.
don't like seeing that. I do think it's not fair, and hopefully they can work on that. But I sort of get it when you're just like, just let me have this. Don't be involved,
Don't
like,
ruin this
don't-
for me.
don't-
Well,
yeah.
someone who
Okay.
definitely aren't friends anymore is Camila and Amanda. And
Or
boy, did they go
were
at
ever
it. And I
friends.
wish, sometimes I just want to see a nice swing, Like, I wish security didn't go in there, but, it's television. Nobody's allowed to hit anybody. So that was interesting. And this fight has been going on since we've seen the episode. That is nuts.
Yeah. Amanda did hit her on this. by
She
the way.
did, yeah. She kind of swatted her away. Camilla got
yeah.
in her face. But my thoughts on Amanda, I feel like she's kind of that classic girl fighter where she doesn't bring a relevant argument to the fight. She then
Oh, I
instead,
see her
oh,
now.
you're fat. Well, you're ugly. Well, how about let's talk about the situation that we're fighting out
Right.
instead of low blowing people. She's
Right.
the classic, like, girl, bye.
Bitch,
you're
bye.
fat, girl.
Bitch, bye.
Ooh, it's like,
Yeah.
Amanda, what are you trying to prove?
Right.
To me, you lose all credibility in the argument by just throwing low
You
blows.
know,
Like,
I am
talk
gonna-
about what you really don't like
I
about
am
the
gonna
situation.
have to
Right.
agree with that, because a low blow, it's a cheap shot. That's not how you win
Right.
fight. The way you win an argument is with facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And nobody can say anything.
Especially the girl.
But there is
you're
something
fat.
about Amanda
Right.
that I
Let's
like.
not.
There's something about Amanda that I like. I love Camilla because she's been around for a while, and she's so nice. So I don't know. I like it. I like this cat fight. I wanted to keep going and see it in the
We like
future.
that
I
she's a
like Camilla's
fighter.
response is just to shake her ass now. She
I
doesn't
love
even
it.
Yeah, she doesn't even deign to respond with words. She's just like, you like this, and I do. It's like, good, Camilla. What are you gonna say to bitch bye? Bitch bye.
Exactly.
There's not a lot that you can really
This is-
give back in that argument except shaking your scantily
This
clad
is
booty.
Camillinator 2.0, and I love it.
I like
She's
it
still
too.
crazy
Like-
and a fighter, but she brings a little bit more of comedy to it, and has been able to shrug off a few things with the dancing and the twerking. So I'm loving it. She's still crazy, but
Right.
now it's a little bit
And,
funnier.
and also, it was like Amanda went home. Camilla went on to come
Right.
second place in the finals. Now she's on the. It's like, what is she, you know what I mean? Amanda, if you want to have your time and fight with Camila, go for it. Camila
Girl,
does
bye.
seem a little.
No, I just think Amanda needs. I
bye.
think Amanda just needs to show Camilla up by winning.
Sure,
you
you
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's how you
Yeah.
back yourself up in this. Okay, then we saw Bananas. No surprise here. Back up Nelson in his move in the ring in the rope challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, it is no surprise. I think Nelson did play well. Who do you agree, Nelson and Corey? Did he
let you
really
take
not
this one
back him up?
I just think it's funny that all the guys love Nelson, like Hunter, Corey. They're all just like, it's not about that. It's about Nelson. You're my boy. Like everybody really loves Nelson and feels hurt by him. And Nelson didn't seem to have any regrets with Hunter, you know, kissing Ashley, which also, who knew Hunter was so serious or hurt about that? He was like saying that he wasn't mad about Ashley. He was mad because he thought Nelson was his boy.
best
But what
friend,
about? But
yeah.
what about? I'm
And
saying,
then
what
with
about
the rope
Nelson and the
challenge,
rope?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. All the guys are like, think Nelson must be real personable with all the guys that they think he's so loyal to them. With the challenge, I think it was kind of, he tried to defend himself, which was kind of silly. He was like, no, I did what we said to Corey. And then he started saying, I brought you here,
So
which
do you-
was
so
crazy.
do you think
that's
Nelson-
the point we need to talk
Yeah,
about.
I
is
think Nelson's is right. Well, to answer, so in that,
you're
like,
good.
yeah, to be like, I'm out for number one, sorry, not sorry, I think is fine. I think,
Yeah.
dare I say, I agree with Bananas that, yeah, this is a competition. You're in it to win it. You do what you got to do. The only thing I think is a little shady of Nelson is kind of pretending like, but I didn't. And then I did think it was a kind of a low blow to Corey when he said, I got you here. You're here because of me. It's like,
I don't understand that. What did you actually do for Corey? He's talking about the first challenge, the one where there was like
Climbing the wall?
18 players in the game.
Yeah.
What really did you do to help just Corey? Everybody was kind of working together in that challenge. It was the first time you all competed on the same playing field and saying, oh, I did so much more for you
Right.
than Tony did for you. I didn't really see that unless there was more that we didn't see. I don't understand what Nelson really did to carry Corey.
I don't either, and that's what I'm wondering. Did Nelson save him from an elimination or something? Is that what we're?
I don't
Did
think
they want to
so.
put Corey in, and Nelson stepped up? Because that's what. Yeah, again, I was thinking, what's this big thing that he did to carry
I
Corey?
think that goes back to the fact that everybody was shocked by Nelson playing Corey because he puts out that he's such a great, trustworthy
Right.
guy.
But
so
he
now
got
he's
tired
caught
of
in
it.
his
He got
lie.
tired of losing, and he
Yeah.
pulled a Bananas move, and that's something that you got to do to win here.
Yeah, so-
Honestly,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I think Bananas is right when he says that you don't get far being the nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be good at all the challenges. I think there's some exceptions. Sarah Sarah made a couple bad moves, so let me take that back. But Nelson figured it out.
I mean, that was dirtbag.
Nelson
at
figured
the
it
end.
out, and kudos to him because he
Yeah.
won. You
Yeah.
got the,
Yeah,
you know.
I agree. Go Nelson. I think you do what you got to do to get there.
And I thought they were fine. After they pulled that and then they went back to the house, Corey and Nelson, I thought they had
Right? Were they
settled
best friends?
it. So maybe
an episode ago?
no, we're gonna have to catch up with them and see if they're still friends.
Well,
That's
they
why
did. I think the Miz
they
reawakened
were.
the battle by saying that, and by Nelson saying like, "Whatever, you're here because of me." That was the insulting thing that reset off. I
That's
think,
why the reunion
Corey.
is so good, though.
Yes.
Because you get to reopen all of these wounds from the show, and then you get to see snippets of what they said behind your back even more. And it
That's
just
the best
furthers
part because
Right.
then you
So
can't get
good.
out of your lie.
That's
Yeah.
why I love it. Reunion did not disappoint. It was great.
The
Almost
reunion
better
was
than
Well,
the
the
season.
champs versus pros did not disappoint.
Woo!
And we've got some of the champs from last season back here. We've got Darrell, Bananas, Camila, Ashley K. We've got Ashley, CT, Cara Jordan.
Maria.
And you know what? I love that
yeah.
Veronica. Well, she was only back for one challenge, but
5
I
minutes.
missed her.
I did too. It was nice
I
to see
remember
her.
being in like elementary school and watching her compete. So this was awesome to have her back, and I wish
Uh-huh.
they kind of brought a little bit more of the old school people.
Yeah.
So we've got Victor Cruz hosting
host.
this. Yeah, who's hosting this? TJ, I think, is filming in Colombia for the new challenge. And then
Oh.
we've got the title of this episode, Secrets and Limes.
Okay.
Are you? Were any of you guys like know any of the pros
Yeah.
that were here?
Well, I have to say,
Before
a
the
lot
show?
of them were a little bit less recognizable than what you would think, but of course they're not going to get like a Russell Westbrook or a Derek Jeter to come on the show.
Imagine though.
Exactly. Like you're not
I'm
gonna
gonna be
get
too
that,
nervous to
but
go
we
up
do
against
have,
like Kobe Bryant
two
here.
ex NFL linebackers, Cameron Wembley, Sean Merriman from the Chargers, and it's also a pretty versatile group. Lolo Jones is
a
crazy
beast.
intimidating. She's terrifying. Louise Hazel from the UK, also just both tremendous athletes who are in great shape. So I
Yeah.
think maybe not the most famous that we see on
No,
sports
it's
and our
not.
everyday athletes, but it's definitely like a versatile group, and they all bring different talents to the
And I
show,
also
which
think
is
it's
gonna be
someone
great.
who's made an impact in the sports world. You know, they've obviously
Yeah.
won a title in you know, in their specialty, but I think it also comes who's out of a contract, who
Yep.
is in their off season right now. You know, and I think that's how you got to look at how they pick their players. You know, who's willing to be injured. I'm pretty sure there's a regulation with that. You know, then
Right.
you can't go back to snowboarding or surfing.
Exactly, which I thought was interesting because Tia, the professional surfer, is still trying to qualify for the 2020 U.S. Olympic team. She's still trying to go on a world tour. So I found that interesting that a few of them are still in the midst of their career and
Yeah.
they're just diving right into the challenge.
She's young. She's the
She's
youngest.
19,
Yeah.
which is great. So she's probably very healthy, but still, it's a very, you know, you can get injured.
That's scary though. That's the thing.
can.
I think that's probably the only thing that would hold me back from doing something like this is being injured and tearing an ACL, or you know,
Could you
that can put
imagine?
you out for
do
6
that.
months.
You can do that, and it's hard to live in a way that's in avoidance of that as an athlete when you're training and surfing. I mean,
But the
things
thing
can
is, I
happen.
would rather get hurt in a sport that I specialize in, rather than an event that I'm just trying to do for fun.
Could you imagine like $1 million contracts shattered because they won
Yeah.
an MTV show for 2 weeks?
Oh my God.
You
6
know?
weeks. Hello. Well, as a person
Well,
who
I don't
these
know how long.
challenges are my sports, I'm not a big sports fan. It's
Uh-huh.
really awesome to be introduced to these athletes. And to me, they're as famous as the people who you guys were just naming, who I have no idea who they are.
You don't know who Kobe Bryant is?
I know who Kobe
Well,
Bryant
we
is.
didn't
I know
name
who Kobe
him.
Bryant is.
Kobe was
Yeah,
not
you
in
didn't say
this.
Kobe. I know who Kobe is. And I know who there's A-Rod.
A-Rod?
Yeah, I know
Good
who
job.
he is. But other than that, I'm like, you know,
okay.
Scottie
These people.
Pippen.
I
It's
don't
okay.
got
We'll
that
help
thing.
you.
This
We'll
is
help you.
great.
She knows a few
Yeah,
names.
Scottie
Pull
Pippen,
them
yeah.
out. Pamela.
I know. So this is really cool to see them, and to me, they all seem like amazing. I mean, this was amazing to watch. They're also all gorgeous, which I don't think hurts in the casting of the MTV.
Gee, I wonder why they did
thing.
that.
They're all stunning, and it's gonna be really fun to see them compete because, as we saw today, it's a different world. You can be a pro, but the drama, you don't have this drama of voting people off as a pro. So it is
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Absolutely.
And what else is nice about this show is that instead of the champs competing for money, which we always see in every season, we have both the pros and the champs playing for money to donate towards their charity. And I like that there's such a variety and
Yeah.
everybody has their own thing because they all have their own background. They all have a story. They're all related to something having to do with this. We have Planned Parenthood. We have the American Cancer Association, PAWS, Cruelty to Animals, the Special Olympics, the Trevor Foundation. I think it's great.
So,
It is
yeah,
great.
so many different genres of charity.
Yeah,
different
and
organizations.
it's also really awesome to see them playing with the same heart that they play to take the money away for their charity. It's really nice to see that.
Exactly. I feel like this episode alone was better than the entire last season of the challenge.
Yeah.
And it's only been one episode and they're playing for charity. They're not pocketing
Yeah.
any of the money. So
Yeah.
really,
Kudos.
the fact
Yeah.
that it's so intense and great already.
I think
Good job.
what's also puts a nice touch to it is that we get a little bit of their background because we see them so passionate about winning the money. Okay, and what they're going to do with the money. I want to take my mom out on vacation, and and it's great. But it's nice to see,
Right.
where someone came from and how, there's more to the story than just, I want to win money for my mom because she's supporting me. It's, no, I have a family member dealing with this disease and X, Y, and Z. So that puts a nice touch. And with the pros, too, because we see them compete on TV all the time. So it's nice to see a little bit, further behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to where they start at the dock. The pier, it looks like Long Beach, or it looks like Long Beach or something of
be a
that sort
dock.
here in California. They have to have a team captain for every challenge, and win or lose. If you win, your captain is safe, and if you lose, you have to nominate somebody. Now they did do a little bit of a trick where
Or no, wait. If you win, you nominate somebody. If you lose
Yes.
and you're the captain, you automatically go in. So it's a
Right.
did I
gamble.
say that backwards?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think you did.
So captain of the losing team is going in.
Yes.
Regardless.
And then
Winner
the
of the
winner
losing
gets to
team is
choose.
choose,
So
right.
it's a
and
gamble.
they're safe. Yeah,
Winner
and
of
they're
the
safe.
winning team.
yeah.
Captain of the winning team. Yeah.
And then we hear a little bit of trash talking, which I absolutely love.
love it.
I don't do it myself.
Oh, no. Oh,
because I like to
no.
show up in my actions.
Oh, no.
But I like to hear about it. I'm the one eating popcorn, just watching it go down.
Yeah, you're the bananas.
And
Just
it's
stirring it
bananas
and
versus
watching it.
Lolo.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Coming right out of
in,
the gates.
Lolo is crazy, and she's always been kind of that smack talk reputation. And
Well,
I love that she goes right at Banana saying, "Oh, what do you do again? You're an athlete of what?
Like
Little
at a
obstacles?"
reality show.
Yeah.
And here, okay, so what do you think? Do you think the champs are real athletes? Or
I
do you,
think they're
do you think-
definitely athletes.
do.
They're athletic. I just think compared to a lot of professional athletes, it's not the same level of athleticism. We're gonna have to see really how the platforms lie out.
Agree with that, and I think the champs are absolutely real athletes. I mean, in their own right, they're kayaking 10 miles and running. I mean, for sure, they're athletically skilled. However, these challenges are not just excelling at a sport or being a good athlete. They're working as a team and politicking, and you're not doing puzzles when you're a pro athlete. You're doing puzzles on this
Maybe.
game and
I
working
hope
as a
so, and
team.
Maybe
so-
they do Sudoku when
yeah.
they're sitting in the rehab training room.
They
and-
might do puzzles like that, but they probably aren't stacking fish in like size, order, and color, and answering trivia
think
about
All
Veronica.
of these pros do seem very intelligent, though.
They do.
And not to say that he's not intelligent, with the kind of humor that comes with Louis Vito, who's like,
Yeah.
I just snowboard.
Yeah.
That's all I'm good for.
I think
Yeah.
I think the champs have an advantage because it is their home court. I think the pros' biggest issue is how to strategize. They're all in good
Right.
shape. They can all mentally focus on something that they're doing. And I think that because you either play on a team or you're individual, if you're individual sport, you just go and you try to get your best time, the highest jump, whatever it is.
Right.
If you work as a team, you communicate and you have those skills. I think having to strategize and having to say, no, I want to say you
Right.
go in the hole is going to be the hardest part for them, because I didn't think there was going to be a lot of drama with the professionals at all.
Right.
I thought that was going to be at a minimum because you do have a reputation to protect. You're also out coming back into your sport with the public who have seen you on a reality TV show.
Well, there wasn't drama during the athletic challenge.
No,
Like,
but later on, in
yeah.
general.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the pros learned very quickly. That looked
Right.
like
They
the
did.
challenge
They
that they
did.
did, climbing across the ropes, looked like something that was just made for the challenge champs. This is a Banana CT Veronica. People have been around,
Yeah.
know how to do this. The pros learned so quickly, and they kicked the champs'
Well,
ass.
I thought also they learned quickly. I'm moving on to the voting. I think this was their first experience in this sort of situation of leading into an elimination, and I think they learned quickly also gameplay. Candace volunteered to take one for the team since she a very classy,
So honorable.
reasonable decision based on she thought logically and like a professional. I did the worst today. I will volunteer. I think they all learned. Do
to
not be the
volunteer.
sacrificial lamb. This is a brutal bloodbath, and we're going to
Yeah.
be voting each other in. And again, with the pace of this, it's going to be happening quickly. People are going to be going home quickly. So I think they probably learned, like, yeah, don't be the bigger guy here. This is not the time to step
Yeah.
up and be the bigger person, because you're giving yourself a 50% chance of going home. And she seemed passionate about winning for her charity. It stunk to see her go home, but that's the way it goes. But I think they all learned a lot about the gameplay that the champs already know, that this is not the time during the elimination nominations is not the time to be a good guy necessarily, or noble, because
Yeah.
if you want to win, you want to fight.
It's
you
not
want
that
to
type
fight,
of game.
stay in. Yeah.
Yeah. They do play a game called Against the Ropes, which we have seen before in previous seasons, which I actually really kind of like because we've seen in the arena that they brought back another classic game. So I'm hoping that they keep doing
I
that
think it's
because
going to be
I
all
really like.
classics, yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that this is a special
Well,
series.
I bet
Yeah,
that
I
they'll
really hope
split
so.
it up a little bit, because that
yeah.
would be kind of an advantage for the champs to have really
Well,
done
they do
them
make it
all.
harder. So in this one, they have thinner ropes, a smaller
Yeah.
platform, and less team members. So they do amp it
Yeah,
up.
and it's like we think the pro champs are jacked, but I was like, oh man, these people are
Oh my
not messing
God.
around. I mean, they
No.
are
Cam Wembley is massive. I mean, yes, we get it. He's a linebacker. You know this already. But when you see him in street clothes, just hanging out with someone next to him, you're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
You're actually a giant on Earth.
Right, like we thought CT was
Right,
big.
exactly.
And it's like, oh, no. CT's puny next to him. I mean, these people are not messing around.
Exactly.
So
Well, that's another thing that I noticed is that the champs, they work out knowing they're coming on the show year round. They do CrossFit, they do, weights and all that stuff. But if you look at the body type that they have versus the pros where they stand in the beginning, it is a totally different ballgame because these pros are not doing no CrossFit.
Right.
Okay, that's like monkey game to them.
Right.
That's
they
the
don't
word.
have
They
an
are
ounce
sculpted.
of fat on their body.
No.
Lolo and Lucy Hazel as the
Lolo
runners, I feel like I could grab their skin and nothing would come off.
Their arms are
skin
toned. They've got
Lolo.
muscles on their thighs. They're built.
Muscles on
well,
top
it's
of their
almost like
muscles.
an analogy is like it's like taking a really pretty girl from your high school versus supermodel. Like oh, you're really pretty and you do your makeup well and you dress nice. Like Camila is a champ of champs and she's great. But that Lolo looks like she was built to dominate sport. I mean, she is. It's like taking again a pretty girl and comparing them. Like Camilla's she's great.
I like your Amanda analogy.
But even
versus
even Tia
Giselle.
the surfer, who seems to be the smallest person and very petite, is still very slim and she's got strong legs for the surfing. And so I thought that was just very interesting to see like how these guys work out. And you look and you're like, dang, I need to be in shape. Versus these pro athletes who are like, dang, okay,
that's just
you're
an unachievable amount of in shape.
Right. Well, Cara Maria, I would say, is the clothes. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to. She's pretty. Yeah, she looks. But again, they're just naturally these pro athletes that are world champions from the Olympics. It is different than beating Veronica climbing up. Not to offend Veronica, but it's a different ball game. It's a different pool of talent. They are literally like genetically blessed. And so, like that Lola, I was like, God, look at her.
Years of extensive training.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
and that.
And
that
eating
helps.
bread and having a trainer and all that jazz.
And not eating in and
For
out
the
and
champs,
drinking
we've
beer.
got Ashley as captain who volunteered herself. And then we've got Louise for the captain for the pros.
Right.
So the pros win this one, and Louise was able to get $5,000 for her charity.
Good job.
Which is great. So then this is when everybody, or Candace, nominates herself. And she learns quickly not to do that. We just mentioned that. And then the pros decide to pick a name out of a hat. Do you think that was the most fair thing to do?
Name out of a hat, lime out of a bowl. You gotta do what you gotta do in the challenge
Secrets
house.
and limes. Don't get salty.
This is hard because they don't have the type of relationships that the challenge competitors do. They don't have alliances. They don't have enemies. So at this point, it sounds kind of lame, but I think I kind of agree with it. What else were they gonna do?
I think
Louise
it's fair.
is in such a tough spot. Who was she supposed to pick?
Well, she knew who she wanted to pick.
Well, very true.
So-
but-
Yeah. Way to throw that one in, Louise.
Yeah.
What the heck? You got us all thinking, like, was it really Lolo on the lime?
definitely.
Was it not Lolo
I
on the
think-
lime?
I think it was not Lolo on the lime. I think she wanted Lolo to go in.
I think it was. I don't know. My conscience, I'd be like, oh,
I
because
think
karma.
that-
I believe in karma.
I think the fact that she said that in her confessional interview
Yeah.
basically alludes to the fact that it was
Yeah.
not Lolo on the lime.
Yeah.
And I get that she was so annoyed with Lolo for acting like her charity took precedence over everybody else's.
Do you think
I
she
get
was?
that. I think she was.
She was.
A little
I
bit.
think she
I
was
think she
very
absolutely
annoyed.
was.
Everyone was. I mean, then Lolo got into it with the snowboarder, and she's a hothead. And I think Louise was thinking right off the bat, like, hothead might not be great.
Right.
If I'm going to pick someone.
I love how passionate Lolo is. You can it's like bleeding, passion out of her soul and stuff like that. I don't know if she realized that's how it came off.
Probably not, and I love
I
her
don't
too.
think so because I don't see any professionals ever pulling that card and doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
I think it just came off, unfortunately in a bad light.
Well, it came off as my
Elitist,
thing is,
like,
is
my
more is
foundation's
better than
better
yours,
than all of
right?
yours.
Like,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
or more important. Like, I'm more, because she was saying it's not just a charity I'm playing for; it's my foundation.
And that's everybody
And it's
else.
like everybody cares about. First of all, what does Hurdles and Hopes do? I'd like to look into that because I don't even know what.
Oh, well, she said that her father spent most of her childhood in
Jail.
prison, so it helps incarcerated or youth
Kids
with incarcerated parents.
Oh, okay, that's great. But
Yeah.
again, they're all
They're
really
all
noble
great.
causes.
They're all
right.
great charities. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So for her to say my line is kind of the
Right.
best.
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and
Good.
just
I
say
still
that
love
she
her.
didn't realize that she was doing it, and I'm probably sure that if you were to ask her today, maybe she tweeted it out watching tonight, that she would take it back.
Probably not. I'm gonna say she
No?
stands by her actions, and that she really,
I think
We'll
she'll take
see,
that back
we'll
and be
see.
like, hey, I didn't mean it in that way. It's all great.
I'm
gonna
sure
go with
she
that.
didn't mean to say my
Well,
charity's
that's what I'm
better
saying.
than yours. Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
but just saying like I didn't get to play to win yet. It's like, well, nobody did. This
Well,
is
what
a
I like,
game and a
what I like that
competition.
MTV did, because I was kind of worried about that. Like, yeah, that would suck if you went home losing and you don't get
Yeah.
money for your charity. But I like that they gave them, $1,000.
Still
It was
gave 'em
great.
some cash. Some
It was
cash
great.
money.
And it was great. And
Yeah.
I love that girl, that Lolo. She's
Lolo,
great.
yeah.
I think she's Bananas'
fierce.
match. Bananas has finally met his mouthy match. Like, finally someone, because
I just thought it was so
Shut him
funny
down.
that Luis was kind of a snake already in the 1st episode and said, well, I'm not saying that I didn't pull Lolo's, but I'm just saying that I'm the only one that saw the name that was on the line. That was such a good moment that they're already catching on and they're kind of stirring the pot a little bit, doing the little shady fights and politicking.
She seems with it already.
They're getting on it. Yeah, Luis is a little sneaky Brit.
Yeah, she is. She's like, everyone thinks I'm so polite. She super looks like a Spice Girl.
I really like watching Louise pull something like that,
Uh-huh.
whether she did or didn't. But I like the attitude and I love everything about it. Because it's the hard competition, like I don't know if you can relate to this, but maybe you can. Of watching like an NBA Finals game of your favorite team, and you're just like, yeah, you're just like pumped up, and you see the passion in the game, and that's all I'm thinking about. So to see that into an MTV reality show is a lot of fun. I love it.
Celebrations are the best part, honestly.
Yeah.
They should be rewarded for their hard work and effort.
Right?
You know how much they train for this, and now you're going to say that NFL it's illegal to have touchdown dances, and you get fined for all
they are
that?
I don't
allowed
like that
to?
rule.
It's ridiculous.
Wait, why aren't
That's
they
part-
allowed to
that's
dance?
Okay, we don't
Who
need
does
to
that?
get
Okay.
into it, but
Off
that's the
camera,
point. Is
because
you
why
should be
That's-
able to
Yeah.
celebrate your success.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Score a winning goal and just
Right.
not put my hands up and just be like,
Yeah.
"So, like
That's
I'm not. I
silly.
can't do
Yeah, no,
that."
it's stupid.
I can't wait to learn who's upset by victory.
Uh,
Okay,
let's not even go
anyway.
through it. Anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
so let's go to the elimination. We've got the arena, and we've
Okay.
seen this before where they gotta punch a hole through drywall and make their own ladder.
Uh-huh.
They did do it a little bit different. They made the drywall thicker to hit through. It's a shame to see Veronica go. I really liked her.
It
She's a
is.
favorite of mine.
Unfortunately, she seemed defeated to me she came in seeming
Not like
I
the
love
old Veronica.
Yeah, she didn't have that fire, and it's true, but I wish she was like, I'm
I
really
remember
gonna...
her being a little bulldog.
Yeah.
I
know, she
remember
was a
her
big
almost
talker.
dying on the harness when I forget who else. Like Katie tried to undo her
Katie
harness
and
in one
Veronica.
challenge.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. She could have died up
God.
there.
I hope she comes back.
I know. I wish we got to see more of her. I love her, and I wish she... it's a bummer that this is going to be moving so fast, because of Candace, too, who seems
so
awesome.
Well, I think they just want to see
And I
how
would
well
like
the
to-
show does, and then hopefully they can bring it back for a season 2, which I hope they do, and I
Yeah.
hope they do 14 episodes and
Yeah.
not 6.
Yeah, I hope
That
that,
would
they
be
can
awesome.
integrate these same pros back into the challenge
Maybe
somehow.
they
I want to
will,
see
like
different
that.
pros.
Well, yeah, definitely, but I think they're really bringing a lot of personality. It'd
Yeah.
be cool to maybe
Yeah.
see them team up like a rivals with the pros, Lolo and
Or
Bananas
maybe like
type
they would
thing.
be teams, like a pro
Right.
and,
You know,
and a champ.
that'd be
versus-
cool. Oh, MTV free
yeah,
ideas
pro
over
versus
here.
champ. Pros
Actually,
and
not
champs
free,
versus
pay
pros.
me.
Yeah, TM trademark MTV. Give us a ring.
There you go.
Yeah. But that
So
would be
I
good.
really thought Veronica was going to win this one.
Did you?
I
Because
did
Ashley-
too. When
they
Ashley
started
fell.
off, it was pretty strong. I think a little bit even. Ashley was winning a little bit, and then she falls. I literally thought that was going to motivate Veronica to just go.
I did too.
Boom, boom, climb up, and ring the bell. But no, she won.
And
Ashley
Yeah.
won.
Well, I think the hard part is the punching through, and once Ashley had already done that, she just climbed her own.
But none of them used their knee. None of them used
Yeah,
their elbow.
I was
Oh,
wondering why they were smacking the wall, and I was thinking,
Right?
I guess over time that's got to hurt your elbow.
your-
Because
and
I think
also-
they started with their fist and their elbows, and then resorted to smacking it with their palms. I think
Yeah.
it probably, you hit your funny bone and hurts. Probably smacking a concrete, or not a concrete,
I
who knows what it
guess.
is, drywall with your elbow multiple times. It's got to start to be painful. So
Yeah.
they got to try another technique. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of
And
a
your
stupid
knuckle. I
strategy.
mean, at that point, yeah, it must have hurt. I
Yeah.
agree. It's like you can keep a tapping, but it's not gonna.
And I kind of thought when
Yeah.
Ashley fell, she looked a little defeated. She looked like she was slow to get up after the initial fall, and then
Yeah,
all of a
she
sudden
took
we
her
just
time.
rocketed up the
Yeah.
wall. And I
She
was like,
took her
wait, what?
time.
That was 2 seconds. Now she's
Well,
back.
that,
and she just
know.
rung
well,
the
that
bell.
was because her holes were there. She didn't have to be there and punch
Yeah.
anymore. But
Good elimination.
Candace
Yeah,
and
great
Lolo,
elimination.
my goodness, it was like 0.4 seconds. Lolo wins.
Right. Well, that's again, Candace is kudos to Candace because she is classy. She was like, I didn't just get beat, you dominated. They were both really professional. That was a really nice lose or nice
a
someone going home.
bittersweet,
Yeah,
friendly
even
loss,
Lolo was
yeah.
like, there's no one lost. Like, that was a great competition, and thanks. I thought that they both handled that in a really cool way.
It was such a good head-to-head battle between the two of them, two of the best athletes on the pros team, as they mentioned. So when it comes down to it, it's kind of stupid that they were going against each other because
Right.
we want to see them compete, and also this is two of the most beneficial factors to your team. And now
Yeah.
one of them's gone in one episode. But
it's
I
a
had
bummer.
Candace Wiggins ranked high on my pros list.
You did?
I did because she's super athletic, WNBA superstar. Not only that, being on a team, I think, was going to be more beneficial for her as a competitor than we see some of the independent skiers, runners, snowboarders.
Yeah, but
I
this
thought
game is
she
somewhat
had that
individual.
team sense.
She has she's cool, she's logical and she seems sane.
So I thought
which-
she was there for the long haul.
in
so
this
that
game,
was very
though,
weird to
I
see her
think
lose.
Sometimes
episode 1.
crazy and bullying gets not rewarded, but being like noble and isn't always the most. Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
seems to me like the ideal competitor, and she would definitely win if it was just skill based. But this is a lot
more.
Wes is certainly not the champion athlete of all the people to come through, but he wins.
There's
There's
a
a lot of
reason
politicking
why.
and game playing, and Candace seems like, she might not have been so into that. I don't know. I've only known her for one episode. She seems sort of above, like, well, I didn't do the best,
45
so
minutes plus
maybe I'll go
commercials.
in. Yeah.
From what I recall watching Lolo, because I was paying close attention, is what she did first, and it was a pretty good strategy. I haven't seen anybody do this, or actually, probably I can see Johnny Bananas doing it. Was when they punched a hole, and then a hole for their foot, and then a hole for their hand. They didn't like climb and then make another hole.
Punch.
She was jumping higher to make a third hole before she even started climbing. If that makes sense to you, Pam.
So just going
okay.
for length, for height, instead
Yeah.
of like, oh, I'm just
Okay.
rock climbing.
Exactly.
Instead, let me punch this and
So
race to the
that's how
top.
she got started. So she had 3
Ah.
holes originally punched, and she went
Oh.
1, 2, boom, and then went from there. And I think that's how she got her
Wow.
head
Plus,
start.
these girls are like 6 foot, so they would destroy.
Well, she said Candace was taller than her, so she's like, I'm gonna have to make that up at the top and be fast. And she did.
You know,
It
I
seems like she had a
originally
good
thought
strategy.
watching this preview of the show that it was going to be a champ versus a pro in
I don't.
elimination.
And then
Does that bother you that it's not? Because I thought the same thing, and I'm actually not bothered by this format.
No,
I
me
kind of like
neither.
it.
I'm not, because I don't think it'd be fair.
I don't either. I like that. I bet
Great point.
they might have thought maybe we'll do it that way, and then been like, there's not, no,
Like,
freaking
I
way.
can see
Like,
maybe like a team of 2 versus a team of 2, like 2 champs and 2 pros go against each other so they can help. I don't know, maybe not.
I feel like that's just as much of a
just
bloodbath.
most, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
like,
I didn't think it would be fair. I mean, you've got Camila, who's 5'10".
right.
Right.
Low-
And that's
Low.
pro athletes are. That is where it becomes down to back to the analogy of like the high school girl and the supermodel. Like pro athletes, they're built. I mean, they are all. None of them are small. None of them are teeny. Maybe the surfer girl.
Yeah.
But all those women are tall. Like there's so many advantages physically that they have
Right.
that it is. You do see it's a different pool of competition. So I do think that this is the only way to.
God, I can't wait
Do
to
it.
see the rest of these.
So
episodes.
excited.
It's
God.
gonna be
There's
good.
so much good
Do
stuff
you-
coming up
do
in
you
the
have-
preview.
Yeah.
I-
So do you?
I
Go
can't
ahead.
wait for the like drama. They're all in the house. That's what I wanted. Like Jordan and Lolo flirting. Like I'm
I was
excited
gonna
for the
say,
drama.
that's not gonna
too.
be anything.
Oh, you think so? She said
No.
she's like he's cute, and when I'm
Yeah,
all,
that's gonna be nice for like 6
ah,
months.
they're
I
gonna
don't-
be
nothing's
living in a
gonna
house
happen.
together. For
Wait,
6
are
months?
they?
I don't know.
I don't
think
think
so.
I don't know if it's the same type of living in the house,
not.
all
It
drinking
looks
booze
like
on
it.
an island.
I don't think as
I don't
far
know
as
that
like
they'll
for
be drinking.
regulations for whatever to keep everybody, quote unquote safe and private. I don't think.
I don't think they're
wouldn't.
living and sleeping there, and they're not
No.
drinking
I
and
mean,
partying like
if
they
you're
were.
They
coming
can't.
on
They
the
can't drink like
show.
that.
No, not the drinking because
They're in season.
We'll see because they are. But are they?
Some
like
of
they're
them.
in the
Well,
sports.
not exactly. They're in off season, but still in their athletic
Okay.
careers.
Well, we'll see
Some of
because they
them.
do seem to be setting up some some challenge romances. So we'll see. You're saying no
I was
way.
thinking I might be a little disappointed if there's not the whole booze-induced fights and living in the house all together,
Yeah,
getting
they'll
tense
fight
and heated.
anyway.
But it looks fine. It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they don't even need that
I
this
think
season.
in this case, I don't want it. Like, I would actually
Oh.
feel the opposite if they brought in liquor in the house and put the pros in there, because honestly, I'd be like, you're a
Defaming
professional
them.
athlete. Yeah, you're a professional athlete. Be professional, compete. That's why you're there. And move forward and go back to your sport, because that's where I want to see you compete.
They don't need to go to the club, but part of the reason we enjoy this is the interpersonal drama. And I think it doesn't matter what, if you put 20 gorgeous single people in a house together, there's gonna be some sparks. I don't know what's gonna happen from that, but I think it's pretty unavoidable. I don't want.
so too.
Are you saying
I'm
pro
avoiding it
athletes
right
don't
now.
have? Okay,
I'm
all
not
right,
saying
well,
that.
Athletes don't have
We'll see what
urges,
happens. We'll see
okay?
what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yes, we shall. Let's see. What else
Okay.
have we got going in the previews? There is a lot more drama with the pros than I thought there was going to be. We saw a little bit of it today. And as far as the previews, anything that you guys like?
Yes, we saw, oh my gosh, her name is escaping me right now. Lindsay, who is the professional
Lindsay.
cross snowboarder.
Yeah.
She asks Victor Cruz if she can take the spot
Volunteers
of
herself.
somebody in the
Right.
final, another pro athlete in the final. So that
And we
is
haven't
definitely
seen
gonna be
that,
drama
right?
filled.
In any season?
And do you think
You're
she's
like my
We
memory
have.
bank
I
right
feel
now.
like we have.
Like, instead of using this, I got to go to Jenna.
We have Jordan
We've seen
did it.
Jordan
did it
volunteered
when he wanted
essentially,
to
yes.
take down bananas
And pulling the skulls.
Again,
Yeah.
we learned from that. Don't do that. Don't do that stuff, people. Don't
I
sacrifice.
like
love
seeing
it.
this
Yeah,
side of
I
the
love
coin.
it too, but
No.
you know, it
What-
doesn't always end well.
What I
Usually
really,
doesn't.
really want to see, and I know you guys at home want to see this, is Bananas versus Jordan.
Yo, of
Wait,
course,
well,
we
how
need that
about
rematch.
Wes,
we need that.
Wes chooses to go against Bananas. There's a moment it looks like Wes
Oh
can
my
pick
gosh.
who he wants to go against.
Ugh,
He
Wes.
says, I want Bananas, and laughs. And then they do some blindfolded elimination, which I'm so excited for.
goodness.
Blindfolded eliminations are amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm so excited for
I'm
that.
more excited than this than the actual challenge.
Oh,
The challenge that they're filming right now in Colombia better be good.
Do you know what the
will be.
theme or anything? Or?
No, I just know that it's in Colombia.
Colombia. That's
Aw.
nice.
Yeah.
Colombia.
Is it
Uh,
Camila?
Yep.
Colombian? Or is she
Brazilian.
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 Brazilian. So you guys will have to join us next week as we break it down for the rest of the season.
Wow.
Jenna, where can they find you on social
Guys,
media?
you can find me on Twitter at Jenna_Bussiere. Thank you for joining us tonight. Loving the season.
Yes, this is so awesome. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this and your predictions too. Do you think there'll be romance? I want to hear. Yep, no. Well, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Pamela Gross Jill.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar. And we will see you guys next week. Hell yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.